So I am reading comments about the funeral, Dandy Crazy's funeral, and someone in a group. This is a WhatsApp group. Someone in a WhatsApp group sent a message where someone was complaining. Someone says, why is it that they're paying attention to a musician alone? They're not paying attention to someone who's an engineer. The engineer is the guy that died, the one that was driving the Ford Ranger. Why is it that they're only talking about a musician? So that kind of messed me up. I'm like, okay. And the person apologized and said, I don't mean to say that the musician's life is not important, but I'm just thinking this man who taught a lot of engineers, and engineers went on to get jobs, they went on to do great things in the country, is not being talked about. The government is not talking about him, and nobody's talking about him. So I'm like, see, there's a difference between work and gift. A gift is something that you do better. A gift touches many people. I'll give you an example of someone that created the bulb. This is us. How many people remember someone that invented something? Many people don't even know the people that invented things. I'll give you an example of how many people know who Michael Jackson is or was. How many people know who Bob Marley is or was? Right now, Bob Marley is the richest reggae musician up to date. He's the richest reggae musician ever. Bob Marley's children have lived on his money, and they're still living on his money from the music that he created over 40 years, over 45 years. Bob Marley died in his 30s, but still his name has lived on. So when I read that, it's like you're comparing apples to bananas. It can never happen. Let's look at the life of Dandy Crazy. Why are people feeling the pain? Why are so many people talking about Dandy Crazy alone? Dandy Crazy was a musician. Not only was he a musician, he spread joy. If you see his videos, Dandy Crazy was always dancing, was always laughing. That's the person that he was. And he touched many people's lives. Not to say that the engineer didn't touch many people's lives. He probably touched so many people's lives that we don't know of. But Dandy Crazy was out there in the public. That's why even the president knows who Dandy Crazy is, and they don't know who the other person is or was. Music or intellectual property, any creation that you make as a person will take you very far. See, when you go to school, we acquire knowledge, we don't acquire wisdom. I'm not downplaying school. School is very important. I'm actually still doing school myself. But how you touch people when you work on your talent goes a very long way. Right now, I'm using an iPhone. Who made an iPhone? Steve Jobs. He passed on, but his iPhone is still being something that is being used by many. And his name, from time to time, people will keep mentioning him. Many people use the iPhone that Steve Jobs made to watch Bob Marley's music that they don't know. Years from now, people might forget who Steve Jobs is. They'll still use his iPhone, but they'll still remember who Michael Jackson is, and they'll watch Michael Jackson using Steve Jobs' creation. So music is something that is powerful, and this should tell you something, that if you're a musician, don't ever sell your intellectual property rights, because music is more powerful. There's nothing that I know, an instrument that I know that is more powerful than, music, because even when you are sad, you listen to music, it's therapy. It gets you back into normal. Right now, we are grieving. We've lost Dandy. when people listen to his music, they remember who he was. They remember who he is, because he might be gone, but his music will still live on. It's not wrong for someone to compare that, but at the end of the day, music is music. Music is powerful. The engineer did a lot of work that has helped all of us. Most of the people benefit because engineering is what makes the world go. The cars that we drive, everything that we go, our daily lives involve engineering. But people's social lives change mainly through social activities. So social activities like music. Remember 2011 election, everyone was very, very scared to say anything because of what was going on. If you say something, the police will pounce on you. Dandy made a song that changed the landscape of election and changed the way people do elections in Zambia up to date. Don't You Kubeba song, it was, do as they tell you, but keep silent. Do something that will shock them later. And that's what happened. So as you compare people's lives, I will, say, yes, all people need to be mourned the same because it's human life. That's why we celebrate people when they're born. And that's why we cry when people die. But at the end of the day, we should remember that legacy is through how many people's lives you change. People say, how did my music change? How did Dandy's music change people? Dandy's music revolutionized everything. People's MMD was out, there was PF, and after that, they tried to do songs with PF. They thought they were gonna stay long. Things change. I don't wanna dwell on that. I'm just here to tell you that if you are a creator, keep creating your stuff because it will live on. You will not, when you die, you will not pass on that degree to your child, but you will pass on what you produce to your child. Many times when you talk about houses, a house, someone will come, they'll sell out your house and people forget you ever lived there. You're the one that built that house. But for stuff like music, for stuff like film, for stuff like the untouchable assets that we have, they'll forever live on. They'll forever live on. Just like this video that I'm creating right now, it will forever live on. Yeah, so that's my 2 and 2. Yeah, my 2 senses. My condolences to all the families that are mourning right now. Dandy Crazy didn't just die alone. He died with 4 others. There was the same lecturer. There was also his backup singer and the dancer and the other guys. I forgotten their names, but my condolences to the families. My condolences to Dandy's family. My condolences to everyone that is mourning right now. Let's remember to mourn him in the way, to mourn them rather, in the way that they would have loved us to mourn them. Yeah, this is T-Y, aka Wisi Tam Tam. Even if I'm trying to smile right now, I don't even know why I'm trying to smile, but I'm smiling because there's a joy that is coming in knowing that we'll meet again with our beloved ones, because I believe there's going to be a day when we'll meet with people that we love one time. This is T-Y, aka Wisi Tam Tam. Gotcha.